Put your hands together for Mr. Will C.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad to be here. This is therapeutic. I've got issues. I do. I've got issues. A lot of issues. Not enough magazine racks out there for all my issues. Got kids. Anybody got kids out there? Parents out here? Yeah, crazy, man. Here's the deal. I have 4 bathrooms in my house. I have 2 daughters and a wife. Yet all these bathrooms are always taken. Folks, I crapped in the litter box because I couldn't get in the bathroom. What's wrong with my life? Daughters. I brought everybody out to California for Christmas. That was awesome. My oldest daughter decides to bring her boyfriend because he's got a question for me. Got a question. He takes me out to dinner and he sits down across from me. And before he can open his mouth, I'm like, oh shit. Because here's the deal. My daughter's boyfriend has Tourette's. He stutters, he snorts, and he growls. And I know that's sad. That's sad. But as a comic, it's funny shit right there. But he starts in on me. He's like, I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I want to marry your daughter. And I'm like, hell no. No! We will not have that. That'll be the longest ceremony ever, and I'm not sitting through that shit. All right? Not doing it. Not doing it. Kids, wife, life. It's crazy, man. It is a crazy thing. My anniversary's coming up. 12 years, man. 12 years to this wife. It's great. No, that's whatever, man. It's crazy. After my divorce, man, I was depressed, man. Everybody tried to set me up. All my friends are trying to set me up with girls I already knew. They're like, you should date Christina or Maria. I'm like, I don't want to date those girls, man. They got mustaches and shit. I don't want that, you know? I don't need that in my life, you know? My friends talked me into setting up one of those online profiles, cupidjunction.com. That's how I met my wife, cupidjunction.com. First date, oh my God. I don't know who she thought she was, but she lied because that was not her picture, man. It was not. And I met her at the movie theater. She told me that she was 5'4", beautiful green eyes, 38 double Ds. I'm like, let's get this on. And I got out of my car, and she did have beautiful green eyes, folks. She did. Because I saw those from across the parking lot with her Coca-Cola bottle glasses on, and her blind ass was all I saw was those green eyes from across the parking lot. And I got in my car and I left that girl at the movie theater. Second date, oh my God, she tells me she's a night owl. I'm like, perfect, I'm a comic. This is gonna work out great. She's like, I wanna take you to a party. I'm like, cool. She's like, I'll pick you up. I'm like, even better. I come out of my house, tan Ralph Lauren polo shorts on, little button-down Ralph Lauren shirt, got my loafers on. She's in all black, white makeup, black lipstick, black fingernail polish. She's like, we're going to a rave in the West Bottoms. I'm like, what's a rave? She's like, you'll see when we get there. We walked into, I think they were filming like The Lost Boys or something. I don't know what was going on there. Everybody was a vampire, glow sticks everywhere. I'm like, this is not for me. I'm ready to give up. I'm like, it's going to be me and a lefty or righty for the rest of my life. And I'm cool with that. All right, I can deal with that. But I keep on looking. I'm going to give it one more shot. And I see my wife. And I'm like, why is this woman single? She's beautiful. And her profile says, I'm looking for somebody that can quote cheesy lines from movies, can make me laugh, and not intimidated by my height. I'm like, click, click, click. Well, how tall are you? She's like, I'm 6'2". And I'm like, holy shit. Okay, let's do this. We start talking, you know, and she's like, hey, I'm a good girl. I don't kiss on the first date. I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to respect her. I think I'm going to respect her. But we meet Martin Luther King Day, 2004. And I open up my door, and I look at this beautiful, tall woman. And I grabbed her by the back of the neck, and I kissed her. And she pushes me off. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm never going to kiss another woman again in my life. And that shit worked, man. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. But here's the deal. One of our favorite movies was a Groundhog's Day. So we decided to get married on Groundhog's Day. And for our 10-year anniversary, I took her to Punxsutawney. I thought that'd be cool, you know, let's relive the movie. And we did. We stayed in a bed and breakfast. We ate at the same diner every morning. We did everything just like the movie. It was awesome once it started. But the problem is, we flew into Pittsburgh the night before we decided to go to Punxsutawney. We get to our hotel. My wife's like, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm like, do what you got to do, honey. She goes in, she shuts the door, locks it. The lock breaks off. Now she's stuck in the bathroom. That's how we started our 10-year anniversary. So me, because you know I'm a military guy, I got a dime in my pocket. I know it works as a screwdriver. I take the doorknob off, and now I'm staring at her like she's one of those Chilean miners through the hole in the door. And I got to feed her through that thing. It took an hour and 45 minutes for maintenance to get there. I tried, like, she would not suck it. I tried. I'm like, come on, just do it. Just do it. Just the tip. That's all I could really get through there anyway. So I'm like, how do you top that off? Last year for our 11-year anniversary, I didn't know what to do. So I got online. I'm like, what's something fun we could do? Well, in Noble, Oklahoma, outside of Norman, there's a restaurant called Kendall's, and they have a 5-pound chicken fried steak contest that you can go down and tear it up, and if you can eat it all, it's free. I'm like, well, this is romantic. Let's do this. So I'm like, hey, baby, get in the car. Daddy's got a surprise for you. And we went down there, and you have to eat, so they give you cinnamon rolls, mashed potatoes, green beans, corn, a salad, and 5 pounds of chicken fried steak. I'm like, I got this, no problem, all right? I started in on it. I went backwards, cinnamon rolls, and I worked my way back to chicken fried steak. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. You had an hour to do this. I'm like, 8 minutes? I got this. I'm getting my name on the wall. I'm getting the T-shirt. Dinner's free. No. I got into about a half pound of that chicken fried steak, and I couldn't finish it. But then it started making me remember, you know what? You've done this eating challenge shit before. Folks, I was in Toronto, Canada, 2010, Monsters Comedy Tour. Guy that was hosting the shows that we were doing had a pizza place. We had a 5-pound eating contest. He's like, hey, the guy that beat the record did it in 13 minutes and 14 seconds. He's like, would you like to come down and compete against him? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to compete against him. Well, they couldn't get a hold of the guy, so he's like, why don't you just come down and compete against the time? No problem. And I get down there. The guy that's on tour with, a guy named Ari Shafir, he's like, hey, I'll compete against you. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So they bring these 2 5-pound pizzas out, and they sit them down, and he goes, go. Well, I tear into it. Well, Ari thinks it's a joke, so he uses a knife and fork, and he's just kind of messing with me. 8 minutes, folks. I've got half this pizza down. I'm like, I'm doing this. And then I got lockjaw. I could not chew anymore. So I look at the guy, and I'm like, hey, you got a blender? He's like, yeah. I'm like, put those last couple slices in that blender with some Coke and make me a pizza shake. I drank it, and then it came right back up. Did not go well. I'm very competitive, folks. Got a little teary-eyed. I'm outside puking up over the railing. The guy goes, hey, Ari couldn't finish his. If you can finish his in 20 minutes, we'll put your name on the wall. 19 minutes and 11 seconds, guys. I'm just saying. So I thought I could do this is what I'm saying, so it didn't work out. So here's the deal. Now it's my 12-year anniversary, and I don't know what to do. So I looked up online. What are you supposed to get them? What are the gifts? So it's like silk and pearls. So I bought her some sheets, and I'm going to give her a pearl necklace when I get home. And hopefully that'll go over well. I don't know. It's crazy, man. I'm a military guy. I'm a veteran. I served in 3 branches of the military. It's kind of crazy. People always ask me, like, Will, did you retire from the military? Did you retire from the military? I'm like, no, I started telling dick jokes. I got out, whatever, you know? I'm like, but everybody's like, why wouldn't you come out, Will, and get a government job? Get all that time and get that government money. Get that pay every month. And I'm like, I don't know. They're like, you could have been a postman, Will. You know, maybe work the border patrol. I'm like, the border? Like, you don't put a chubby guy on the border. I don't know if you guys ever had Mexican food or not. It's delicious, okay? If you come at me with maybe a taco or a churro, I'll be like, welcome to America, mijo. All right. Leave that carne asada right there, right there. I get to travel all over the world and perform for the troops. My company, we're called Veterans of Comedy. And we're all military veterans that are now stand-up comedians, and that's what we do. We travel for the troops. And we just got back. We did a 4-week tour. We actually flew from Los Angeles to Istanbul. We dropped down in Djibouti. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it does. We were in Addis Ababa, Addis Munch. We were in Ethiopia, Bahrain, Dubai, Kuwait, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, London, back to Los Angeles again. Crazy 4-week tour. It was amazing, though. I don't know if anybody here has ever been to Africa. It's hot there. It is hot. We're in this pub in Ethiopia, and I start talking to this guy. He looks like Bob Marley, so I'm intrigued. I start talking to this guy, and he's like, I'm the Prince of Doise, Africa. And I'm like, sure you are, buddy. Whatever, man. Just buy me another beer. Shut up. He's like, he pulls out his money, and he's on it, like Coming to America style. I'm like, oh, okay. Guess you are the Prince of Doise. He's like, would you like to see my village? We do not let white people come to village, but you funny fat white boy, would you like to see village? I'm like, hell yeah, man. Let's see village, man. Then I did what our parents told us not to do as kids. I got in a white van with a stranger, and off we go up to the top of this mountain, Doise, Africa. Beautiful. Get out of the van. They're like, you must give us your clothes. I'm like, what'd you say? He's like, it is custom. You give clothes. And then they gave me a leopard skin outfit, and I put it on, and I looked like Fred Flintstone. And I'm like, not cool. And we started dancing with them, and then we ate with them, and then we started drinking with them. And they make this stuff called honey wine and fire water, and it's delicious. It tastes like orange juice. And you don't realize how jacked up you're getting. And then I went to stand up, and I stumbled, and I'm sweating, and it's hot, and I'm like, the hell with this. And I took that leopard skin outfit off, and now I'm naked. And that's when the name calling started. They started calling me White Ghost and shit like that, and I'm like, look, it's the biggest one I got, fuckers, all right? I'm now banned from Doise, Africa. I can never go back there again. And that makes 2 places I'm banned from for life. The other one is Oceans of Fun. And here's the deal, all right? If you don't want me getting drunk at your water park, don't have the swim-up bar, all right? I thought I made it out of the pool that day, and I'm sorry I pissed in it and you had to close the park down, all right? And that's a true story. I think my face is still over there, Worlds of Fun, Oceans of Fun, like, do not let this guy back in. I don't care, man. It's crazy, though, man. Being on the road for 4 weeks away from my wife, man. Crazy, man. That meant I was going to have to take care of myself over there. I don't mind that. I'm a man. We do that. Problem is, we have no porn in my house. Like, I had nothing to take with me. I'm like, here's the closest thing we have to porn in my house is the movie Titanic, and that's only because it's got the word tit in it. Like, I looked for anything to take with me to jerk off with. Finally, I ended up grabbing my wife's mammogram paperwork. Grabbed her dental records because I ain't had a blowjob in a while. I came home, she's rubbing them out to my life insurance policy. I'm like, that's bullshit, all right? That is not cool there. Crazy. These are the jokes. This is what's going on in the set. It's crazy. I wrecked my car last week. I totaled it in a parking lot that I've been in 1 million times. It was snowing. It was foggy. Cut that out of the tape. I'll back up. So I wrecked my car last week. It was snowy. It was foggy. Parking lot I've been in a lot of times. I didn't put my seatbelt on yet, which really sucked because I hit that pole really hard. And when I did, I went up into the roof of the car, and it jammed my neck down into my head down into my neck. And I went to the doctor, and he told me I've shrunk 2 inches. I'm like, you're talking about my height still, right? That's I'm trying to figure that out. Hurts. I'm just now getting kind of back to normal. But the problem is that car was given to me from Cars for Heroes. And it was crazy because last year, only about 5 people knew that my car went to shit on me. I had a Toyota Prius. I'm not bragging, but it went to crap. I took it to Toyota. They told me that your transmission's leaking. You need a new battery. We got an oil leak we can't find. $12,000 to fix my car. I'm like, you know what? I'm not fixing it. So then I was carless, right? So all of a sudden I get this phone call, and it's like, hey, this is Slacker with 101 The Fox here in Kansas City, and we've nominated you for a car from Car. I'm like, go fuck yourself, because I thought it was my friends messing with me, right? Guy calls back, he's like, ha, I had to bleep that, but this really is Slacker with 101 The Fox here in Kansas City. We'd like you to come down to the boat show because we got a car for you, buddy. So I go down to the boat show last year, and they do this beautiful ceremony in this beautiful car, and they hand me the keys, and the guy leans in, he's like, that's not your car. I'm like, what? That's not my. He's like, you come down to the lot next week when you get back in town, and you get to pick out your car. So they send me this lot out in Baser, Kansas. Every car, I'm like, oh God. And he goes, there's your car. And I look over at this 98 Honda Accord with 2 flat tires, The Indian family had lived in there, and they've been cooking curry. You couldn't even see from one side to the other. Had a dent in the back end. So I took the car, put new tires on it, got fixed up, had it detailed, the dent taken out. And it's been a great car. I've circled the United States over the last year. So I love this car. I love it, man. It's like it had 130,000 miles on it for a 98. Come on. I'm like, nobody messes with a guy in a Honda Accord, all right? I'm like, never got pulled over, nothing. I mean, I even tried, and it's like, go on, you know? I'm like, cool, whatever. They go like, they know your life's bad, you know? I get it. They're like, you're sucking at life right now, man. I'm like, and now I'm carless again. Been waiting for that phone call from the Fox. Hoping Car Santa will find me, maybe. Black History Month now, I'm like thinking somebody will step up. Too soon, I'm sorry. It's okay. I gotta get out of here. I don't even want to leave. This is really cool. You guys like, this is a really cool little venue. I'm like, the audience is awesome. You guys are hot, man. I watch you guys coming in here tonight, man. Really cool, man. Couples, kissing, hugging, holding hands. Some of you guys got matching mullets, man. That lets me know I'm in Missouri, man. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, that's where life is. I'll wrap this up, man. This is fun. You guys had a good time tonight? Yeah? This is cool, man. You got a lot of people out here. It's kind of cool, man. It's cool to be back in town, man. I've lived in LA for the last 10 years, man. It's crazy, man, because like when I left this town, I went out to LA. I wasn't headed to LA, folks, to actually move. That wasn't my intention. My buddy had written a military movie, and I was going to go out there and be a consultant on how to wear a military uniform properly. He had a small part for me, no big deal. And I start driving to LA, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and my buddy's like, hey, man, there's a writer's strike going on. Really sorry, man, I had to scratch the project. I'm like, shit, man, okay. So I get off the phone with him. I call my wife. I'm like, hey, babe, they scratched the project. She's like, what's that mean? I'm like, well, I guess I'm coming home. She's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I've already kissed you goodbye, and mentally I'm ready for you to be gone for 3 months. I'm like, I don't even know what that means, hon, but okay. I'm like, my sleep number's like a 14. When I find 63, he's getting his ass kicked. No, but I get off the phone with my wife. I call my sister. She's 6 months pregnant. She's like, come on to LA. We'll figure it out. And I get to LA, and everybody's like, you need to get up there and sign up with LA Casting, get your foot in the door. You know, at least background work, work your way up. It's going to take you 5, 10 years to make it, but that's how you got to start. I'm like, cool. So I went and signed up with Central Casting, no big deal. 2 weeks, folks, 2 weeks, I get a call from Central Casting, like, hey, would you like to be in a Kanye West video for Absolute Vodka? We're sponsoring him on his world tour. We just need people to walk around in the background, pay you $56 for 8 hours. I'm like, $7 an hour? Okay, I'll take it, whatever, I don't care. So I show up, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost. I'm walking around this movie set. I don't know what I'm doing. I wander into wardrobe. Wardrobe guy, I'm talking to him. All of a sudden, here comes Kanye with his entourage. He comes down the hall. He walks up to me, takes his sunglasses. He just eyes me from head to toe. And he looks at the wardrobe guy. He's like, who's this guy? Like, oh, he's a background actor, non-union piece of shit. Kanye, we're so sorry. Sir, you need to go away. Like, go to holding or something. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. But then Kanye's like, no, dog. I want this guy to be the bouncer in the commercial. That guy was a SAG actor. He was in hair and makeup getting ready to go on set. Kanye walked in, and he's like, hey, man, you'll get your day rate, but this guy's replacing you. I got Taft-Hartley right on the spot, automatic SAG, and it makes $63,000 on that commercial, folks. A lot of money. Anyway, ended up staying in LA. No, thank you for the applause. Crazy how things work. Because of that commercial, I landed my first agent. Because of that first agent, I landed a show called Mansers on Spike TV. And I was the voice of Mansers. I did on-the-street interviews and reenactments. And then I was on Monk in The Office, and My Name is Earl, Knight Rider. I was a handyman on Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. I've been on Sons of Anarchy. I'm Big Will from Storage Hunters. I was in Yes Man with Jim Carrey, 7 Pounds with Will Smith. The Coen Brothers, Hail Caesar. I'm on Modern Family right now. I mean, here's the only reason I'm telling you guys all this shit, because I just want you guys to know what famous looks like. Guys, I'm Will C. Thank you very much. You guys are fun, man. Thank you so much.